Well, if you don't like seasickness, that might not be the half for you. Regardless, the Kings up 62-48 in a very interesting, to say the least, first half. Ryan in Sacktown with you. Hopefully soon to be joined by the one and only Jerry Reynolds. There's the first half statistics for you. Domantas Sabonis leading the way for the Kings, 18 points on 8 of 10 shooting, 2 for 2 from behind the three-point line. No answer for the paint in this one by Washington. However, on the opposite end, Valanciunas playing a very, very good game off the bench for them. He leads the way with 12 points. All in all, a messy, little bit of a chaotic first half. We'll continue to break it down, but as promised, joining us right here on the show, Mr. Jerry Reynolds. What's going on tonight, Jerry?
Well, not much. I mean, kind of a, yeah, kind of an ugly, uh, kind of half. I mean, kind of to be expected. The Kings doing what they need to do enough to win, and hopefully that's all you're going to get. But yeah, Domas has been great, and kind of getting a little help from Malik and the boys. But you got to put these guys away here early in the third, and then you can have a comfortable game. If you don't, they'll hang around like they did
Yeah,
with the Warriors.
absolutely. They're on the second night of a back-to-back. They've lost six. They've only won one game on the road this year, 1-16. So it should be the Kings' night. Jerry, what did you like besides Domas for the Kings in that first half?
Well, I like their zone. I think Coach Christie's using that a little more. I thought the defense was pretty active. Really were creating, forcing into some fairly difficult shots. Maybe not turning turnovers
Sure.
into points like they should have, but still, you know, uh, I guess all I can say about it is it's about what you should expect for a first half against the worst, absolute worst team in the league. And I got to say, I was listening to Katie. They're talking about all this young talent. I'm going to say in 2 or 3 years, most of the guys won't be in the
It's
league.
a good point.
Uh, there, there's a lot of so-called young developing talent that doesn't develop. And I think that Washington's a good example of a lot of missed lottery
Yeah,
picks.
it's a very good point. Is it the worst basketball you've seen in the last couple of years, or the worst team, I should say?
It
Yeah.
ranks right there. I mean, because they're on a pace to win 12 ball games, and I mean they'll probably do a little better than that as it goes because the schedule should help them. But yeah, the talent isn't there, and I think they're very undisciplined as a team. Really just you got guys on their team trying to make plays they can't make, and taking shots that they really shouldn't be taking. I think you could structure them a little better and get a few more
Sure.
wins out of them. But I mean,
Yeah,
they're
I mean,
just
they
not very
start
good.
some of their younger players, but yet bring their more polished guys like Valanciunas off the bench.
Yeah, he's twice as good as Sar.
Yeah.
I mean, he just is. I'll tell you right now, I don't think Sar is as good as Khalil Ware, the late first round
You
pick that
liked him
Miami
before the
got.
draft.
And I think, yeah, and as this year goes, I think everybody's going to spot the same thing. But just more lively and just I think much better basketball player when he gets to play. Which I think the other night he got 25 off the bench. So he gets but with Riley and Spolstra, they'll make him
Yeah,
earn minutes.
absolutely. A lot of talk about Valanciunas training with Sabonis in past off seasons. Jerry, what's tonight going to do for this fan base after seeing Valanciunas play a really good first half?
Well, I think that there's a lot to like with him. I think he fits well with Domas because he can shoot threes as well, and he could defend. He could defend the center and protect the rim. As a backup center, he could be backup, and also they could play
Yeah.
together because certainly the way Domas is shooting threes, he ought to be shooting a lot more of them, and some of the other guys maybe shoot less of
Yeah,
them.
the Kings not shooting the three ball very well. They put up 21 in the first half, only 5 of 21, 23.8. De'Aaron Fox only 6 points, but 8 assists, Jerry.
Yeah, he's doing a lot of other things. I think defensively he's been very active, and like I say, he's looked and found Domas a couple of times for easy slam. I think he's just letting the game come to him, which is good. I think he'll, if he decides he needs to score, I think he can. But I think with Monk and DeRozan kind of looking for their offense a little more, and of course Domas on a tear, it's all good.
Yeah, I hear you. Jerry, is this a game if you're Coach Christie in the locker room at halftime saying, look, don't worry about playing your opponents. You just need to play yourselves? I thought the Kings having 7 turnovers, giving up 6 offensive rebounds, that's got to get cleaned up.
Yeah, it really does. And that's a great point. I mean, basically you need to go out there and do what you do well, regardless who you're playing. And don't allow yourself to get on cruise control like you can always stretch the lead out. Maybe you can, but that's how you let teams hang around. I mean, treat them as if you're the Oklahoma City Thunder here in the third quarter. Get out there, get after them, force them into turnovers, and you take care of the ball, and you can have a nice, pleasant fourth quarter.
Yeah, get the starters some rest, Jerry. This is a week that you don't see very common for a team this late in the season. Game 42, they played Wednesday. They play obviously right now, and then they don't play again until this Wednesday.
Yeah, it really is weird. And then, of course, right away you go to on a back-to-back.
That's right.
Really the worst back-to-back there is, from playing at home and then to Denver. And then, of course, you're on the road forever. I don't know, will they ever come back? But so it's you need these wins. You've got to get all of them here at home. And then hopefully you can continue your good road play out there. Because, let's face it, the West is what it is. And there's teams that are muddling around there. There's a chance to really move into that top 6.
Nailed it.
You just can go on the road here, get the wins at home you're supposed to, and go on the road and continue to play well.
Completely agree with you. 1 through 3 to me is set, and then right after that, it is up for grabs. Jerry Kuzma, only 5 points in the first half. Is that a product of his environment, or has the ship sailed on Kyle Kuzma?
Well, it would have sailed for me. I'd put that ship in the dock if it were me. I don't think he adds anything that this team needs. I think there was a time, but it seems like I don't see that he's progressed much. He's shooting 26% from threes, and he really doesn't defend a rebound at a high level. So, what?
Yeah, no, exactly right. And speaking of that, I think it brings up a really good conversation, because on this run, when the Kings have had success, or at least on the winning streak, they were turning defense into offense. They were beating more athletic teams because they were playing fundamental basketball. Is this a team almost, when you look at a Kuzma versus maybe a different player? I know there's some other ones in the mix, of John Collins. Both of us have been high on him, where you're maybe looking at defense just as important as offense with what you bring in?
Yeah, that's a great point. Well, I think defense, has to be part of the equation if you're trying to get better. You don't want to bring in somebody that really is a below average defender. But I like you said, I've been very high on John Collins for quite a while, and he's a solid defender. But more importantly, I think he'd fit into a team scheme. He's done it in the past very well. When he was with the Hawks, and is doing so now. Collins, to me, just there's no comparison as far as a fit.
Yeah, totally with you there. Jerry Reynolds joining us here at the half. Don't forget, we are wrapping it up tonight with the post-game show, taking your calls. Kings up 62-48 in this one. Should be smooth sailing for them. The other question I was going to ask you, where would this team be without Malik Monk, with the timeliness of his offense, his energy, and to a degree now his growing basketball IQ, Jerry?
Yeah, he's just been remarkable to me. I mean, obviously he's always been really good, but we're seeing him grow into a more complete player. Obviously, we're seeing leadership out of him. Obviously, playmaking. His ability to create shots for himself and others is really outstanding. I think, I think Malik's one of those guys that has taken this and has really made himself a better player. And I think there's more to come. Really do. I mean, his enthusiasm for the game, his teammates, you can see really gets a charge out of him, just like the fans do.
No doubt. No doubt. Him and Sabonis, the two-man game. You talk about Sabonis needing to get more three-pointers. That two-man game is opening up that three-point shot or making it even more available for Domas going forward.
Yeah, that's something I think I'd like to see more out of the the screen rolls thing is the pick and pop. Not necessarily would automatically be the three, but definitely you're seeing as Malik turns the corner, you're seeing 2 or 3 defenders back in the paint waiting for the pass to Domas, and just pick and pop. The old Isaiah Thomas, Bill Laimbeer kind of thing. And I think clearly Domas can make that shot. That's 15, 18 footer. That's a free throw.
Yeah, he's shown that for sure. So, final score, what do you got, Jer?
I got Kings at 128, Wizards 112.
128, 112. I have the Kings winning as well. You think the third quarter really key here, taking them out?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, I think honestly the final score is kind of meaningless because if it goes like it should, the Kings should stretch this thing out in the fourth quarter. Everybody gets to play, and so margins change dramatically in those circumstances.
Certainly.
But the Kings really need to stretch this thing out first 5 minutes, and then get control of the game, and think about other things.
Jerry, we have some breaking news. Hold on, really quick. Let me get the imaging in here.
Ladies and gentlemen, can I please have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story.
It's a very serious question for you, Jerry. Do you know how cute you are?
Well, I've got a pretty good idea that in my younger days, I wasn't particularly handsome then, so I don't see any reason why that's improved at age 80. But if somebody thinks I'm cute, I'm not sure Mrs. Reynolds does anymore, but I think she kind of acts like she does, and that's all counts, really.
I love it. Well, hopefully the Kings do not drop the ball like Mark Andrews here in the second half. How brutal is that? Jared?
Was that brutal? Obviously a very good player, but stuff like that happens. And I was pulling for the Bills anyway. I just prefer Josh Allen getting a shot at my Chiefs, although I hope he fails miserably, I might add. But I think he's and both teams deserved it, deserved to advance, but only one can.
So I'm going to put you on the spot. Did Mahomes have the refs' favor, or did you think those were okay calls?
Well, no, I thought they were bad calls. I think the Chiefs really did get the benefit of a couple of calls. I thought that, that there was a pass that was declared a catch that I think the guy never got his second foot down under control, that they was against the Chiefs. So there's a little bit of that. But overall, yeah, I thought there's a couple of key calls that the Chiefs got. And but that's the way it is. I mean, you can't – it's pretty hard to – I know some fans want to say, well, is that why the Chiefs win all the games? Because no, of course not. And they were clearly they were, in my mind, clearly the better team, which it kind of played out at the end.
It did. I'm looking forward to another matchup, like you said, between the Bills and the Chiefs. The reason the Chiefs are winning, we both know why. It's that number 15.
Number 15, they got the best coach of the league and the best quarterback. I don't know that, that he's necessarily the most talented quarterback, but he does it when it counts. And I think it's going to be a tough matchup for Kansas City. Really, I do. I would not be surprised to see the Bills win. I think right now that the running game is so much better than the Chiefs, and it'll really come down to Mahomes finding somebody besides Travis Kelce to throw to. They got to get some other receivers involved.
Agreed. Completely agreed. Well, Jared, thank you so much for joining us here at the half. Appreciate you. Can't wait to talk to you again on Wednesday, my friend.
Well, I'll try to be ready for you, and hopefully we'll be talking about a little bit more of an exciting game. I think we will.
Yeah, I sure as heck hope so. And go remind Miss Reynolds of how cute you are.
I will. I'll see how that works. I'll report back. Okay.
I mean, Jerry, you're so cute. They named the media entrance at the G1C after you. So,
Yeah, well, that wasn't cause of cuteness, but that's all right.
my friend, thanks, Jer.
All
Good
right,
luck
see
to
you
your
guys.
Chiefs too. Jerry Reynolds, 1 of 1 indeed. All right, we're gonna get you back to the game. Look, 67-56. Kings going on a little bit of a run here. Second half underway. We will be back at half or after the game, taking your calls. I will be solo tonight, so come give me your opinion. Hell, come host the show with me. We'll post the link right here after the game, breaking down the rest of the West and the NBA and the day in sports. Thanks for being here at the half. We'll see you in 22 minutes.